Reading for August 8th. Welcome to the Lionsgate. All right, let's take a look and get your general spread out of the way. Took me a couple starts to get this right today. Only took me 4 signs to feel my groove. It's all right, Aquarius, it's for you. Here we go, Aquarius, this is you. Let's see what your moods are like. This is your general spread. 7 of Swords. Funny to me that one of the cards that was pretty prominent for Capricorn was tension, and you've got the 7 of Swords, which is a breaking of tension. I kind of like how that shifts a little bit with the next signs. So, man, Capricorn had a Page of Wands. You guys have Page of Cups. New beginnings in 2 different ways. So even though they had pressure, you have anxiety. So we have the 10 of Wands, a little bit of overwhelm. This is where you're feeling like you've got too much on your plate a little bit. If you look here at this here 10 of Wands, he's got his hands over his head and he's just trying to block out any new data and information. He's trying to keep it Ramarasa, right? So we've got a little of anxiety here. There's this huge sensation of wanting to walk away from things because you can't see your way out of this problem. So you can't see a solution. This guy here has blinders on and something blocking him in every direction that he goes. Because he can't see his way forward, he's having a hard time making decision. Strikingly different than the 2 of Swords, which is indecision. This is not enough information, whereas the 2 of Swords is that card for too much information until you're overloaded and a little stuck. We do have the Queen of Swords, so, well, Swords and Cups. So this is where I'm seeing that you're divided. You're not sure whether you should make a logical choice or lead with your heart. Look here, Queen of Swords. This is my bitch card. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which is our card for emotions. Uh-oh. One of my little services tried to dip out. I almost said bitch out. So Queen of Cups emotions and Queen of Swords decisions. So how are you going to navigate these next steps? There's a lot that's asked of you, a lot on your plate, overwhelming, a little bit of anxiety, but I'm going to tell you, you don't have any of the cards that tell me this is the straw that'll break the camel's back. Aquarius, you're built for this. You've got this. Resiliency is in play. You've got the Emperor. Now, here's the difference. Strength card, Emperor, Empress. Like this is your leadership card. Matter of fact, you've got both. So I want you to think of Swords as male and Cups as female. And then you have the Emperor and the Empress. See, I'm discovering these as we go. Look at this. This is what's popping for me. So leadership is our Emperor and Empress. In which place do you feel you're going to come from the most strength? In what way are you feeling that you should lead? Because both of these cards tell us that you're not sure which way to face and take leadership. Do I need to be harsh with this individual or do I need to be soft? I remember that was one of the dilemmas I had as a paramedic. Some people didn't listen until you were doing this and others were like, it's okay. And so sometimes that just takes a little finesse, although I'm not seeing the Strength card, which talks about that finesse. Right now, you're pulling information. You've got the Page of Wands. So you want as much information as you can get in this next little phase, right? Listen, I feel like this is causing you to feel a little bit defensive, right? Or feeling as if you should have your guard up. We have the 5 of Wands. This is a group argument or somewhere where you're feeling this pressure. So in the beginning, I was saying things are about to get easier, and that's indicated by the 7 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. One is letting go of the outcome, non-attachment. And the other one is the direction of energy is going to start to flow away from you. Okay, that's going to offer you this new beginning. So I'm not sure that in this one instance that the 5 of Wands represents a negative position. Usually when I see the 5 of Wands, it's because somebody's got something going on where they know if they don't defend themselves, they're going to take this hit. But I feel like in the company of the cards that surrounds it, that this 5 of Wands is warranted. I feel like you're taking a deep breath and you're keeping your defenses up as a good regard, as like keeping the hen from the hen house rather than being like super locked up where you've got your hand over your heart and you don't want anybody to get close because you don't dare get vulnerable. What I'm seeing is you've just got a lot on your plate and this is a step back. Allow yourself to take that moment. Allow yourself to decide, right? Because anytime somebody pushes you, it's either manipulation, right? Well, do it or else. It's either one of those narcissistic things. This is your last time offer, high pitched sales. Like I'm going to be gone forever if you don't make this decision now. Right? But right now we're putting up a little bit of boundary. Look at boundary versus barrier, right? This is a boundary. I'm asking for respect. So take that time. Take Draw that line where you need to. I wanted to mention too, we have King of Swords in here, which references victory. So if you're worried about how the outcome is going to play, remember you've got a bunch of cards in here that talk about things getting easier. So if time is what it is you need, although unlike Capricorn, who had a lot of the Hermit card in isolation, they don't want to speak to it. It's not that you don't want to. I really do feel like Aquarius right now is in a watching phase. Very interesting. Let's pull some cards from this other deck and see what your moon reading is. So for those of you that haven't had any astrology background or understanding, your moon is your circumstance, your moods, emotions, and how you process your thoughts. So let's take a look and see, for those of you that are Aquarius moon. If you're not Aquarius moon, keep listening. It still applies. It's hard to explain, but it still will apply. All right, here we go, Aquarius moon. This is for you. Four of Cups. All right, so this card I always call the big pout. Are you unhappy? Like generally, there's a tone of not having what it is you want. I'm seeing the Queen of Cups. Yeah, definitely not happy. Aquarius is dissatisfied. Look at these two cards. Four of Pentacles. I'm not feeling I'm getting what I deserve. Four of Pentacles. Someone took something that didn't belong to them, that belonged to me, or violated something that, you know, I didn't agree to. You have the Death card here. Transformation and change. Truth be told, Aquarius wants things to shift and drastically. And you're led by your heart, Queen of Cups. Truly, you're beating yourself up over whether you should be doing things versus like your intelligent line of thought versus your emotions. Because look, if you don't resolve this in a way that's equitable, or at least even if it isn't equitable, I want you to think of when you finally let it all out and you run down your litany of things, sometimes the outcome is much better, especially because that throat chakra is clear. We're able to talk about what's going on. But look at this dissatisfaction and the great big pout. You see that pout? Are you pouting rather than communicating, Aquarius? And I love that this is herb with water, right? So let's keep pushing through this. I'm making a mess. I'm trying to show TikTok. Overwhelmed again. Look at that. See? So we have overwhelmed. So I think Aquarius is having a hard time trying to be grateful, trying to decide, you know, we've had some hard times in the past. Aquarius is looking for recognition. And I wouldn't say you're ungrateful. I would just say that you're having a hard time looking at the positive in this moment. We have the Temperance card, which is balance. Capricorn had a lot of that, wanting things to just level out. I'm going to tell you a secret though. Joy and a pivot point with your money is on its way. You do have the Chariot card, which means movement, right? Things are going to change, but it's going to be a little dense when it comes to energy. You've got the Chariot card, so that means intensity and focus. So and there's no coincidence that your general spread had a lot to say about leadership right now, because you can't get what you want unless you say what you want, and you can't really move forward unless you take a first step. So this is asking you to come from a little point of leadership. With the Death card in play, Aquarius is really looking for transformation right now, or you're walking away from some things. Here's what's true. You've got the 10 of Wands in this next little phase, plus this overwhelm. If Aquarius doesn't take a break, you will break. So bend a little bit. Set up some of those boundaries we were talking about. And the last card that comes out in this spread for you is the Fool. So the major cards that I'm seeing for you: Chariot, Temperance. Even though the Ace is not a major, the Ace of Pentacles is a pivot point. That's why I talk about you having a pivot point with your money. Love and money expand at the same time. So look at how emotionally led you are right now. Your emotions, you're in your feelings. A lot of burden, a lot of carrying things, and a little overwhelmed. So what can we do to shift this? If somebody's being ungrateful and it's not you, maybe we need to speak to, or, you know, sometimes, let me just say this. Sometimes people don't understand how much you go for them and go hard until you put that bitch in park. So sometimes maybe it's just about breaks, right? Let's pull a card from the Divination of the Ancients and see what your oracle card is for this week. Fickle. Oh, it's flowers. So flowers have a tendency to be temperamental. They need constant attention and water. And if you give them to someone, they don't last very long. So you got to ask yourself, what is it you're committed to? What is your why? Something we talk about in coaching all the time. If you think of someone with some religious convictions and they clearly understand them, or a belief system, you can't shake that because they know their why. Fickle, Aquarius. Where is it that you are undecided? That's the main theme for you. So I want you to think about that for a little bit. This isn't beating you up, but sometimes restlessness comes from inaction. Sometimes restlessness and dissatisfaction comes from us not communicating. Capricorn is completely not communicating right now, but Aquarius is in a place of investigation. They want to pick apart some details until they find the core. I'm just going to suggest to keep going because it's worth it. Do the work and find out what's making you tick. I'm looking at this card fickle, and I'm thinking a little bit more about when we're dissatisfied, right? And when frustration comes into play. If you can't get others on the outside to satisfy certain things, this is a Coach Karma is going to say, dive into self-care right now. If this means getting your nails done or a massage, taking a break, unplugging from the internet, right? Dopamine, serotonin. We're constantly getting all these kicks of dopamine, right? Where we're up and down. Maybe we need to unplug a little bit so we can get a little grounded. I hope this is of benefit to you. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I will catch you on the flip side. I'll be right back, and I'm going to do Pisces for my Pisces rising. So I want to thank you. If you want to book your one-on-one, get some more in-depth insight, visit karmaondeck.com. And you can find classes, tarot and meditation. There's also spiritual mentorship. I'd love to see your company on my YouTube so you can see the picture-in-picture experience for those of you that are on my TikTok and my Instagram. I will catch you guys